Imagine a place revered by billions, a sanctuary echoing with centuries of prayer, suddenly shattered by the deafening roar of an assault rifle. On a cold February morning, as dawn broke over the ancient city of Hebron, worshippers gathered for Fajr, the first prayer of the day, their hearts filled with devotion. They sought solace, peace, and communion in the sacred halls of the Ibrahimi Mosque, a site believed to hold the tombs of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But on this day, February 25th, 1994, their prayers would be met not with divine tranquility, but with an act of unspeakable terror, forever scarring the holy ground and the souls of those who survived. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. Today, we unravel the horrific events of the Ibrahimi Mosque Massacre, a tragedy that laid bare the volatile tensions of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and exposed the depths of extremist ideology. Our story begins in the heart of Hebron, a city steeped in history and religious significance, a place where Jewish and Muslim traditions intertwine, often uneasily. The Ibrahimi Mosque, known to Jews as the Cave of the Patriarchs, is one of the most ancient and revered holy sites in the world, a shared space that has, for generations, been a focal point of both reverence and contention. The perpetrator of this atrocity was Baruch Goldstein, an American-Israeli physician and a fervent follower of the ultranationalist Kach movement. Goldstein was not merely a radical. He was a man consumed by a virulent anti-Arab ideology, a disciple of the extremist Rabbi Meir Kahane. His journey from a Brooklyn-born doctor to a mass murderer is a chilling descent into fanaticism. He had emigrated to Israel in 1983, settling in Kiryat Arba, a Jewish settlement near Hebron, where he served as an emergency physician. Yet beneath the veneer of his medical profession, a deep-seated hatred festered. Reports from those who knew him spoke of his refusal to treat Arab patients, even those serving in the Israeli Defense Forces, a stark contradiction to the Hippocratic oath he had sworn. Goldstein's animosity towards Palestinians was well documented. He had previously been identified as the culprit in an incident where acid was poured on the carpets of the Ibrahimi Mosque. Muslim authorities had even written to then Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, warning of Goldstein's dangerous behavior. An agent of Shin Bet, Israel's internal security service, had also warned his superiors about Goldstein, quoting him as saying, "There will be a day when one Jew will take revenge on the Arabs." These warnings, tragically, went unheeded. The morning of February 25, 1994, was a convergence of significant religious dates. It was the Jewish holiday of Purim, a celebration commemorating the deliverance of the Jewish people from a plot to annihilate them. And it fell during the holy Muslim month of Ramadan. For Goldstein, these dates seemed to fuel his twisted sense of purpose. He had reportedly listened to a reading of the Scroll of Esther the night before, a text that some scholars believe he interpreted as a call to violent action against those he perceived as enemies. At approximately 5 a.m., as hundreds of Palestinian Muslims knelt in prayer, Goldstein, dressed in his Israeli army uniform and armed with an IMI Galil assault rifle and 4 magazines, entered the Hall of Isaac. The guards, accustomed to seeing him in uniform, did not stop him, assuming he was there to pray in the Jewish section of the compound. Positioning himself at the rear of the worshippers, effectively blocking the only exit, he unleashed a hail of bullets. The serene atmosphere of prayer was instantly transformed into a scene of unimaginable horror, filled with screams, chaos, and the stench of gunpowder. For 10 to 15 minutes, Goldstein systematically fired into the crowd, reloading his weapon multiple times. Worshippers, trapped and defenseless, desperately tried to escape, some feigning death, others attempting to shield their loved ones. The massacre only ended when Goldstein was eventually overpowered by survivors, who used a fire extinguisher to subdue him before beating him to death. By then, 29 innocent lives had been extinguished, and 125 others lay wounded, their bodies riddled with bullets. The immediate aftermath was a maelstrom of grief, rage, and retaliatory violence. News of the massacre ignited widespread protests across the West Bank. In the ensuing clashes with Israeli forces, an additional 20 to 26 Palestinians were killed, and many more were injured. The international community condemned the act, and Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin denounced Goldstein as a degenerate murderer and a shame on Zionism and an embarrassment to Judaism. The Israeli government banned the Kach party and designated it a terrorist organization. However, the massacre's impact extended far beyond the immediate casualties. In Hebron, the city itself became a tragic monument to the event. The Ibrahimi Mosque, once a shared space, was partitioned, with separate entrances and prayer areas for Muslims and Jews. Shuhada Street, once a bustling commercial hub for Palestinians, was largely closed off, transforming it into a ghost town and severely impacting the Palestinian economy and daily life. The massacre deepened the mistrust and animosity between Israelis and Palestinians, further complicating the already fragile peace process. Baruch Goldstein's act was not an isolated incident, but a culmination of extremist ideology and unchecked hatred. His actions served as a stark reminder of how religious fanaticism, when combined with political grievances, can lead to devastating consequences. The Ibrahimi Mosque Massacre remains a painful chapter in the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a wound that continues to fester, and a testament to the enduring human cost of intolerance. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of The Calendar of Crime.